I'm Kelly Hogan, and welcome back to my Zero Carb Life. I genuinely try to be a very nice person, kind, helpful, and a part of me really wants to just tell people, look, please just eat whatever makes you happy. It's a special day. You've earned a treat. Listen, you deserve to eat what you want. It's Christmas. It's your birthday. It's Groundhog Day. Girl, it's Tuesday. Enjoy. Like a part of my personality would genuinely love to say that to other people and also to myself. And I did for 25 years. But even though it feels very kind, it is awful. Garbage advice. And being nice like that has never actually helped anyone. Back in 2004, my own doctor, Dr. Benjamin Dunlap, he was blunt. He wasn't sweet. He wasn't nice. But he said, if you don't get rid of this inflammation and lose at least 100 pounds, you are likely going to keep having these same health problems and you may even die an earlier death. Well, I mean, he hurt my feelings. He made me cry, but he saved my life. He told me the truth, but he also offered me a solution. He said, cut out the carbs, eat meat, and see if you don't feel better in a year. Give me 1 year, which felt like quite a commitment in that moment. But the year passed either way, right? Hard truths around addiction and around our health are far less fun and less easy than just enabling ourselves and enabling other people to just eat cupcakes and Cheetos. And also, if we truly love someone, and that does include ourselves, we have to be really honest. And that sometimes doesn't just look like enjoy, have fun. It can hurt. I know that there are some of you watching today, Saturday, December 13th, 2025. Some of you already know exactly how to handle holidays and parties, and the food as a carnivore. For some of us, there is no hesitation anymore. There's no bargaining. There's no debate about it. We just know we're going to eat the same foods on a holiday, on a birthday, on a Tuesday that make us feel great every other day of the year. So for me, I will eat only animal products on Christmas Day and on January 25th, my birthday, and on Thanksgiving and on Flag Day, same as always. And if that seems weird or sad to you, let's imagine that you take a man who has a peanut allergy. Go ahead, picture him. His name is Frank. So Frank, he gets sick when he eats peanuts. Now, would you imagine, is Frank going to still abstain from peanuts on Christmas? Well, I should hope so, right? And hopefully Frank can still manage to have a fun time without eating these peanuts that hurt him. And we would surely hope that Frank could still have a wonderful time on Christmas Day without peanuts because he can find joy in all of the people he's with and find meaning in the holiday itself and find solace in the fact that he's going to feel good tomorrow. And he won't spend his holiday feeling sick, and hopefully Frank will still enjoy lots of delicious foods that don't include peanuts. That seems obvious, right? Now imagine if Frank, this imaginary guy, or even better, what if it was your spouse with a peanut allergy? And what if they decided on Christmas, just gonna have my favorite peanut butter cookies and some peanut brittle. Why? Because it's a special day and we only live once. YOLO, baby. And he lets you know that he understands, yeah, I know. I'm going to feel bad later, but I think it's worth it because it's a special occasion. I don't know about you, but I would look at my man like, what is wrong with you? If you choose to eat that mess, you know exactly what's going to happen. You know you're going to feel bad. You know you're going to wish that you didn't. And if you do it anyway, I don't want to hear one word about it. You better not be laid up on that couch belly aching to me about how you can't do anything around the house for the next couple of days, because I'm going to tell you, you're a dingbat. Am I right? So maybe some of you are thinking, yeah, but that's different. I'm not really allergic to carbs or anything. Maybe not. But how do you expect to feel if you indulge in gluten, soy, sugar, and processed junk for even one day? Many people forget how lousy they used to feel until they have felt good for a while. And then they go back. And I am speaking this to you in love because I have seen so many people come back after a holiday and tell me and our group members how bad they feel, how inflamed they've become, how icky their stomach feels, how their skin issues have flared up. No one is ever happy that they did that to themselves. Now, if you are a person that truly does not get instantly sick from eating processed food, sugary junk, then I would consider how you would feel. Situation number 2. If you have a friend or a spouse that is a recovering alcoholic, perhaps they are not allergic to alcohol, but they also struggle to moderate it, like at all. They've had their health and their life suffer from simple overconsumption and their addiction to the substance, not an allergy. If someone like that were to say to you that they are really proud of themselves for staying clean and sober for several years or months, and then they announce, but I'm going to allow myself just one day, Christmas, off from recovery to have a few drinks, wouldn't you beg them to reconsider? Why? Because you're mean? No, because we know that someone with an addiction, they can reignite that flame with one taste, one sip, or one bite of that substance. We know that when we have that very first taste, our frontal lobe, also known as the prefrontal cortex, that it slows down and our decision-making skills suffer. And if we don't stop before that very first taste, then we're fighting this uphill battle against substances that trigger this massive dopamine release in our brains. And it keeps us coming back for more and more and more. And you would hopefully remind this recovering alcoholic that there are so many other ways to enjoy a holiday than with alcohol, especially when it is going to take away joy from all of your other days. So it seems so obvious how we would advise someone with an allergy or someone with an addiction. Why is it that we allow our own lizard brain of addiction, our own voices of self-sabotage to convince us that a holiday is a valid reason to throw out our own goals, our own well-being, our own recovery just out the window? Is there any food that tastes so good that eating it for 5 minutes, what if you ate slowly, let's say 20 minutes, would be worth 20 hours of a bellyache or 20 days of inflammation or 20 weeks fighting to get back on track? There is no food I've ever tried that's worth that. Literally none. And I have eaten some very good food. Is there any food that's worth me giving up my peace and my mental freedom from sugar obsession? Not one. Okay, so I'm going to share some tactics that have helped me through the years to stay consistent with my diet, which have allowed me to first lose 130 pounds, but then also keep it off for 15-ish years. Number 1, I am literally the only person in charge of what I eat. And not for nothing, but so are you. The only one in charge of what you eat. I cannot control the political talk on Christmas Day. I will not be able to control any nosy questions or gossip brought up at family dinner. You won't be able to control whether or not somebody loves the gift that you picked out, or what the weather will be, or the world news. You can't control the health of your family, or how fast one single hair on your head is going to grow. You can't even control another bite that anyone else eats, but you can control exactly what you eat. Same for me. I find that so empowering. Embrace it. Control the very few things that are actually controllable. Our food is one of the few things in life that's completely in our own wheelhouse. Just own it. That's it. You are the only one in charge. Not one bite will pass your lips without your expressed permission. So embrace that power and let's choose wisely. Okay, second thought is my life should be more entertaining than anything that's ever on my plate. I love eating a plate of chicken thighs or carnivore ice cream. I love a steak. But if I need to entertain myself, I could take a walk, watch a good movie, crochet, read a book, talk to a friend, jump on my little trampoline, have a good time with my husband. Life. My primary source of entertainment should not be food. I am no longer a foodie. I was. Oh, I was. If we can start seeing our food as nourishment, it can be very tasty. When I'm hungry, whew, my food tastes so good. My meat is delicious. But we start to see it as nourishment that keeps us fueled to actually live life. Then we can stop seeing it as, this is boring. It just gets boring eating the same thing. Oh, this meal is so entertaining. I don't need air to be entertaining. Just needs to keep me alive. I don't need water to be entertaining. Well, I like mine with bubbles. I do love seltzer. But for my food, it is nourishing, it's life-giving, and yes, it's tasty when I'm hungry, but I don't rely on it as a primary source of entertainment. Okay, I want to show you a short clip about a study that I found so interesting.
You get a rat and you put it in a cage and you give it 2 water bottles. One is just water and the other is water laced with either heroin or cocaine. If you do that, the rat will almost always prefer the drugged water and almost always kill itself quite quickly. In the 70s, Professor Alexander noticed we're putting the rat in an empty cage. It's got nothing to do except use these drugs. Let's try something a bit different. So Professor Alexander built a cage that he called Rat Park, which is basically heaven for rats. They've got loads of cheese, they've got loads of coloured balls, they've got loads of tunnels. Crucially, they've got loads of friends, and they've got both the water bottles, the normal water and the drugged water. But here's the fascinating thing. In Rat Park, they don't like the drugged water. They almost never use it. None of them ever use it compulsively. None of them ever overdose. You go from almost 100% overdose when they're isolated to 0% overdose when they have happy and connected lives.
Oh, well. And this is partly why people say community is the opposite of addiction. Connection really does matter. All right, the third thing is, I sometimes hear people say that they give in and eat junk because, there was so much pressure from other people. The thing is, I don't owe anyone an explanation for what I need to do in order to feel good and reach my goals. So if someone questions me about what I'm eating, I could explain about insulin resistance or how I'm trying to lower my inflammation or how I don't want my IBS symptoms to return from eating fiber, or how I used to get these awful boils before I cut out sugar. Or if someone says, "Oh, are you only having meat?" I could just simply say, "Yes." I could even add, "Yes, it's delicious. What are you having?" That's it. And just move on. If I'm offered a food that I don't want to eat for whatever reason, whether it's just taste preferences or health reasons, whether it's addiction or whether it's an allergy, I don't owe anyone anything more than just a, "Oh, no, thank you." And the people who do love me, they want me to feel good even more than they want me to eat their food, right? And same for you. If I let someone know that a food doesn't make me feel good and they're still pushing it on me, that says a lot about them. Please don't ever feel guilty for not harming your own body or ruining your own results or not working towards your goals just to make someone else feel justified or happy that you tried their casserole or their dessert. It is not my job to make other people happy at the expense of my own health. A true friend does not need me to have a bellyache just so I know that their pie was good. Fourth, I see a lot of people fail simply because they do not set their own boundaries within themselves. They don't set those boundaries ahead of time. I always know ahead of time what I'm going to allow on my plate and in my mouth. And there are some foods that I only have for special occasions, or if it's available in a very limited amount. It might be like deviled eggs, which are, maybe not made with my most perfect mayonnaise or homemade mayonnaise, right? But it's like, you know what? I can have a couple of those on Christmas and it won't hurt me. It wouldn't be optimal, but it's okay. Even things like carnivore cheese breads, I don't keep those foods at home because I tend to overeat them. But on Christmas Day, deviled eggs, some carnivore cheesy bread, some pepperoni, some charcuterie, you know, it won't cause pain. I don't believe it will cause addiction. I might have some of those things that I don't normally partake in, but I've decided that ahead of time. I don't wait until I get there and then start trying to decide, oh gosh, what would be okay for me today? Like, think through it ahead of time. You may have a pretty good idea of what foods are going to be there, and I would just go ahead and decide. I know that I will absolutely not have anything sweetened ever due to this whole sugar recovery thing with me. I have limits. I have rules for myself. I will eat as much meat and eggs as I want to eat. I can eat the bacon. I know I can eat my mom's country ham. If I want to have a decaf coffee with some heavy cream, great. But I will not have one lick, taste, or bite of anything with sugar, sweeteners, grains, soy, anything that I know is going to take me back to either addiction or pain. I have clear boundaries on that are already set. And that's that. I'm not making these choices while staring at the foods. The fifth thing I do in order to stay consistent is, so I have these boundaries in mind, but I have a plan on how to stick to them. I'll take pre-cooked bacon with me, epic beef bars sometimes in my purse, carnivore crisp or dehydrated meats, carnivore bars, things that don't require refrigeration. And they're just a lifesaver in case you do end up at an event where you feel hungry and there are no great choices. Just be prepared. The sixth thing, I have not had to use this one in a long time, but I remember what it was like on those first few holidays as a carnivore. If I started to feel overwhelmed, some people use the word triggered. Like you see a food, okay, dopamine is putting me into seeking mode. I want it so bad. It feels like an emergency. I definitely experienced that. I would just have to take a moment and go get alone with myself, either go to the bathroom or go to another room. Just to go breathe for a minute. Look in the mirror, touch up your makeup, powder it up if you need to. Some slow breaths. Think about what you really want to do today. Not what addiction is saying, but tomorrow, what are you going to wish had happened? I'll get to that in a minute. But literally go think like a grown-up. Do we want to be like a child that screams in the candy aisle and needs this instant gratification? Or like an adult who knows that some things are just not best for us, will reap the benefits in the long run. Delayed gratification is a very grown-up concept, but we are in fact grown-ups. We can do it. It means that we choose some big time, awesome long-term benefits over a few minutes of mouth pleasure. And that's hard. I promise. I promise it was hard. And I also promise that it gets easier every time you practice it. Every time the junk has left our system for longer, every time we practice a new coping strategy, every time we make a different, better choice, it's going to get easier and easier. The eighth thing that I've done through the years is simply ask myself if this food or this behavior has ever worked for me in the past. So when this voice of addiction tries to convince me that I can probably handle a little keto treat, you can probably handle a little of this, or even flavored electrolytes, or some sugar-free gum, any of this. I remind myself, and the lizard, I have been there. I have done that. I have my own eating history, my own life experience. I know that I feel better without the fiber and the plants. I know I have more peace when I have nothing sweet at all. I know how I used to feel. I know what the boils were like. I know what obesity was like. I know what it was like to struggle with inflammation. With all of this prior knowledge and experience and personal history, why would I think now that I could just go back? Did it work for me in the past? No. So why would it work for me now? It probably wouldn't. So hush. Number 9, through the years, I've tried to imagine my future self or the tomorrow morning me and how I'm going to want to feel the next day. I imagine what I'm going to wish I did when I wake up tomorrow morning, when I look in the mirror, when I feel being in my own body tomorrow morning, when I step on the scale, when I'm living life tomorrow, just think how proud I'm going to feel, how happy I'm going to feel if I stick to my goals today. And on the other hand, how sick I'm going to feel if I give in and I eat the foods that hurt me. We were all blessed with an imagination. I want you to just picture looking in the mirror the next day and feeling the joy of success. Some of us call this the JOMO, the joy of missing out. I take joy in being strong enough to pass up on a temptation. I take joy in knowing that I'm missing out on pain and cravings afterwards. I feel joy when I know I stayed consistent and I took up for myself and I did the things that I know are going to make me healthier and ultimately happier. I have regretted in the past many bites that I did take. I have never once woken up and regretted bites of junk that I didn't take. So reminding myself of that in the moment, very helpful. The 10th thing that I think has helped me stay consistent is the knowledge that emotions are not bad. They are not wrong. They are not harmful. They're not sinful. They're not immoral. Facts, I believe, well, we're humans. The Bible says that we are made in the image of God and that he himself felt things other than just joy and pure bliss, right? Jesus wept. So we can allow ourselves to feel stressed, mad, sad, frustrated. We can acknowledge, this is what I'm feeling. This is where I feel it in my body. This is what I think is causing these feelings. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling. A feeling cannot hurt me. I do not have to numb it away or hurt myself with old coping techniques. I get to choose how I'm going to deal with this feeling. I could journal or pray or scream, run, do push-ups. I could choose to do the chicken dance right now. It's a feeling and I get to choose how I'm going to cope with it. But the feeling itself can't actually hurt me. I can label it and choose a healthy way to deal with it. So I'll sometimes put a tablespoon or so of butter on my tongue. I could stand in the sun, take a few deep nasal breaths. Thank God for the things that are going well and what we're grateful for. And then we can get to the root issue of what this challenging emotion is about. If you're just overwhelmed, you can make a list, ask for some help, take a nap. If you're feeling sad, you could take a moment to grieve or talk it out with someone or pray about it. If you're angry, write out what it is you're experiencing and then light the list on fire if you want to. But if eating meat is not the answer to this problem, hear me out. If eating meat isn't your answer right now, then true hunger is not the problem. Did you catch that? And if true hunger isn't the problem, there's no food on earth that can be the solution. So if hunger is the issue, for heaven's sakes, that's easy. Whew, thank goodness. Just eat some meat. You're hungry. You're truly hungry. Eat some meat. Problem solved. But let's stop using these harmful foods to just numb away our feelings or to distract us from what we're really feeling. We aren't babies. We don't have to shove a passy in our mouth every time we feel stressed or needy, especially if the passy is something you're either allergic to or addicted to. We can ask ourselves, what am I really feeling? What am I really feeling? And how could I actually deal with it? And if you do want to just distract yourself or numb it away with some food, I get it. It's okay because it takes time to learn to sit and feel something. Then let's do it with a steak or a bowl of warm scrambled eggs or something that won't make our problems even worse. But using a food solution for a non-food problem is never going to help in the long run. Okay, here are a few little mantras that have kind of helped me stay consistent. These aren't long ones, just sort of quick thoughts. I've come too far to go back now. I do not want to ruin my progress over a quick moment. I don't owe anyone an explanation for how I eat. I am the only one that controls every bite that I take. No one on earth's opinion is worth me going through sugar withdrawal again. You only ever have to go through that once. If I take the first bite, it will be so much harder to stop. I would rather eat 3 pounds of chicken wings, bacon, or ribeye than even taste one cookie. And if I don't want to eat meat, I'm not truly hungry. And if I'm not truly hungry, food can't solve the problem. Let's figure out the solution. And there it is. Those are some of the core thoughts and values that helped me completely avoid going back. I just celebrated my 16-year carniversary. Only animal products, meat, eggs, a little dairy, especially on the holidays when I get super crazy and festive with some cheddar. These thoughts have kept me from bringing myself back to either harm or addiction. And there are many things in my health journey that are negotiable. I don't always hit my step goal. I mean, pretty much, but it's negotiable, right? There are some things on my daily checklist that if I can't do it, then I can't. My non-negotiable for 16 years has been, I will never do anything to purposefully cause myself harm. And I've stuck to that. And that has to partly come from a belief that I do not deserve harm, that I deserve to feel better and to be loved by myself and others, to be respected by myself and others, to not have my choices questioned enough that they override what I truly know is best for me. And that applies to you too. You are loved. You are worthy. You sincerely do deserve the respect and love to make the choices that you know are best for you. If you do feel that you need some extra help or support, it has been incredibly helpful to me through the years to surround myself by people who have been there, who have made it through, that get it. So join us. I have 8 groups that meet every week. These groups, in every one of the 8 groups, we've got some beginners. We have some people at the beginning of every month who haven't even started yet. They're here because they need help getting started. And we also have people who have been completely carb sober for many years. And they are happy to help other people make it to the other side of their sugar addictions. No one in these groups are going to say, oh, it's okay that you ate that sugary junk on Christmas. Instead, we're likely to say, okay, it happened. So what pain or issues has it caused you? What are you feeling in your body now? Was it worth it? Are you glad that it happened? And we ask these kind of questions because we don't want you to live in pain. We want you to learn how to avoid it next time so we can help make a game plan together and avoid that the next time. We love you. We want you to feel amazing. So we want to help you eat the foods that get you where you want to be. And that is just one way that having support can help. We also celebrate one another's wins. We learn the science and the research behind what we're doing. It's not just about eating meat. It's about all manner of different ways to improve our health and our sleep and just how to lead happier, healthier lives. I can help you figure out how to calculate your macros and your calories using a TDEE, a total daily energy expenditure calculator. For those that are ready and willing to go there, we talk about ways to break weight loss stalls. We do some troubleshooting. We do live weekly Q&A time together. Now, my December groups are full. By the time you see this, the month is halfway over. But January enrollment is happening right now, and I would be very happy to see you there. In the meantime, let's just be real and honest with ourselves. Let's fill up on food that truly nourishes us. Let's avoid anything that hurts us. And let's just celebrate what the holidays are actually about. So as always, let's eat the meat, save the humans, and let's actually enjoy the holidays for a change. Okay, hope to see you back next Saturday. Bye.